Welcome, everybody, to this August 26, 2024 meeting of the Sacramento Regional Transit Board of Directors. Can everybody hear me? Kind of. All right. We're adjusting as we go along. Welcome to our new digs. Let me make note that Director Daniels will not be here, nor will Director Kaplan. Madam Clerk, is that the entirety of those that will not be here today?
That's correct.
Thank you very much. Will you please call the roll?
Director Brewer,
Present.
Director Budge,
We need lessons in chair management.
Director Daniels is absent, Director Hume,
Here?
Director Jennings,
I'm here, Madam Clerk.
Director Kaplan is absent, Director Chalam-Churla is attending as alternate to Director Kozlowski this evening,
I am here.
and Director Maple,
I'm here.
Director Cerna, Director Singh Allen,
Here.
Director Vang, and Chair Kennedy.
Here, will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Right here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. And again, welcome everybody for being here. We're going to get used to our surroundings now. I will say, I want to thank our newest member of our staff, Mr. Brewer. Oh, no. We need to do something about Mr. Brewer not sitting over with the rest of the board members. So let's fix that next time. First item, please.
Okay, do you mind if I read the Metro Cable replace statement?
Please.
Okay. This meeting of the Sacramento Regional Transit District will be cablecast on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and AT&T Uverse cable systems. This meeting is closed caption and webcast at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replays Thursday, August 29th at 2 p.m. and Sunday, September 1st at 2 p.m. on channel 14. This meeting can also be viewed at youtube.com/Metro Cable 14. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should fill out a speaker card located at the rear of the room and provide it to myself or Adam. Once the item has been called, additional speaker cards will not be accepted. The time allowed for public comment is at the chair's discretion. The timer will chime when you have 20 seconds remaining, and then again when your time is up.
Thank you very much. Is there any member of the board that would like to have anything pulled or discussed that's on consent? Hearing and seeing none, I do have a card for item 2.1. Barbara Stanton.
Good afternoon,
Noon.
everybody. This is beautiful. Well done. Okay, I only have one little comment. On 2.1, we would like to see what the directors say when it says director comment, Chair Kennedy. It doesn't say what you said. For example, I'm going to use you, Coco, had a comment. And then you had a comment to her comment. And then Henry had a comment, but it doesn't tell us what that was. So if you could add that to 2.1, that would be really good so we can see what you have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. You're officially the first person to ever want to hear what I had to say. We do have a card for 2.12, Coco Cocozella. Coco? No.
I
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
think that might be Jeffrey Tardigia.
Oh, they're out of order. I'm sorry. Jeffrey. It says 2.12, but if you want 2.11, that's your prerogative.
It'll work either way. I have put in written comment that regards to the various things that are submitted and directed to go to the general manager. You delegate to the general manager. When does the general manager respond and put the answers back? I don't see that ever happening. So it's when the general manager may put it in the general manager report, but when you delegate these things, there's a number of things, and I relate to is this, the first thing I got a hold of Henry on was dealing with the elevator for the I-80. It's now 8 years later, and we have finally where we're working on that project of I-80. There's other things that have happened and gone on in the past. And again, question is, when does something get resolved or answered? Very little time do you ever see it ever responded to in written. I bring up that because, example of two things that I can think of is one related to the 51, that we have electric wheelchairs and we still have an access issue of getting on there. And we thought about it, looked at it, and then it's just become a moot issue going on through there. There's other ones like that, and I just bring to the board, I think you should be looking at and seeing that in an appropriate manner, you get answers of what you're delegating that are they answered 6 months or a year. This is where I remember of Linda, 2 years on a real estate issue before it came up as an actual discussion. And I guess my time's up. Last thing I will say, I suggest that that board be lowered a little bit because it blocks the people on there. It's just a suggestion. I'll end.
Thank you, Jeffrey. That's the last card that I have from the public. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to be heard? All right, is there a motion?
Hearing none, I'll move approval of items 2.1 through 2.12.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The
Opposed? Abstain? Next item, please.
next item, Resolution 2024-08090, commending Brett Daniels.
So unfortunately, Director Daniels, who is leaving the board, was not able to be here either in person or he had some internet issues. He's out of town, so was not able to even call in. So I'm going to, at this time, just commence with this. We do have a certificate for and a resolution for Director Daniels for his service to the board, which was much appreciated, but we will be presenting that at a future date and provide him with all of his well-deserved accolades at that time.
Do you want a motion to approve the resolution?
Please,
So moved?
motion is second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. Next item.
Okay, the next item, 4.1, Information Light Rail Modernization Update, and Carmen Alba will present this item.
Good afternoon. Waiting for the presentation. Today, I'll provide an update summary on the light rail modernization project. Okay, next slide, please. All station platforms throughout the system must be raised to 8 inches to accommodate the new passenger activated bridge plates on the S700 fleet. Before the upgrades, our station platforms are at various levels. Some are at ground level, while others are at levels less than 8 inches high. The construction project is scheduled in phases 1 through 4 as indicated here. This required huge and frequent interdepartmental coordination and teamwork to shut down the light rail service, mostly during weekends, to allow the contractor to pour concrete at the stations. SAC-RT is adding 0.6 mile sidetrack or passing track at Glenn Robert G. Holderness Station to allow us to operate 15-minute frequency to the city of Folsom. Major construction began at the beginning of the year and is expected to complete towards the end of October. Revenue service is projected to begin as soon as late October or early November. We will soon operate our very first low-floor light rail vehicles, or LRVs, replacing an aging fleet with new state-of-the-art modern LRVs. We've received 20 new S700 LRVs. After static testing, dynamic testing, and burning testing, 14 LRVs are conditionally accepted, meaning that they are ready for revenue service. And all 14 will also be SAC-RT ready, meaning they're equipped with SAC-RT decals, programmed with stop announcement and all passenger signage in place. The remaining 6 LRVs will become available. The remaining 6 are undergoing stringent safety and reliability testing and will be added as soon as they become available. Minimum LRVs required for revenue service on weekdays is 8 LRVs for single car trains on the Gold Line. For weekends, we need a minimum of 9 LRVs for both the Gold Line and the Green Lines. As we roll out more SAC-RT ready LRVs after September 1, we have additional 2-car trains and spare LRVs. However, should there be an unforeseen event like an incident or an accident, there is the possibility that we may use the legacy high floor vehicles in the Gold Line until we onboard all 20 LRVs. S700 LRV Siemens training for employees is about 95% complete for all active light rail employees. Leadership staff has met and worked with our labor partners to ensure that employee training, employee communication, and other project tasks are satisfactory and all parties feel ready. Staff hosted exclusive previews for light rail employees in December of last year, and they hosted a tour of LRVs for all employees earlier this year in February. Staff hosted several LRV tour events for the Mobility Advisory Council, the disabled, seniors, and bike advocates. One of our first events was in June of 2021 when the MAC visited the Siemens facility to tour the San Diego S700 trolley, which is the same LRV that we have here at SAC-RT. In August of 21, SAC-RT hosted 2 public hearing sessions to review a static display of the door and the ramp. In January of 23, we hosted an exclusive tour and ramp review for the MAC at the Siemens facility in Sacramento. Finally, we had two community events in June and August of this year, where we met with the MAC and also met separately with Sacramento area bicycle advocates. This slide indicates a summary of the items discussed at the MAC meetings this year. Examples of closed items or items that have been discussed and resolved include the exterior push to open button, the detectable warning tile, and the bike policy clarification. Items that are open and that staff is currently working on are in-person customer service support efforts, exterior ramp deployment tone, and barricades at Gold Line mini high ramps. These items will be addressed prior to launch. Items to be discussed in the future include between car barriers, bike racks, and the activation strip to deploy the ramp. Our marketing staff is managing the Community Assistance Program, or CAP. CAP is a volunteer program where SAC-RT employees are invited to play a key role in the launch of our new S700 low-floor LRVs by directly engaging with our riders and help them experience these exciting new trains firsthand. Employees have the opportunity to sign up for paid volunteer shifts to select light rail stations. Marketing staff utilized various tools as part of the communication staff to keep our riders and stakeholders informed. Some examples include producing how to ride and info videos, posting on social media platforms, hosting community events and pop-up events, and writing fun and interesting blog stories. This concludes my summary of the Light Rail Modernization Project. I'm accompanied by staff this afternoon. At this time, we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions from? Yes, Mr. Serta.
Thank you. This may have been discussed at a prior meeting, but I haven't seen much about policy direction or the lack thereof as it relates to exterior wrapping for revenue purposes? I know they're shiny, brand new, blue, beautiful trains, but do we have a set policy right now in terms of whether or not those new LRVs are going to be wrapped if for no other reason to augment our revenue?
Good evening. Just, we are not going to wrap those trains for 2 years. They're under warranty, so they're not going to be touched. Okay.
Gotcha.
And we'll bring it back to the board at a future time if we decide that we're going to go back out for an advertising contract. So you'll see that.
Great, thank you.
So no 444 anytime soon. Any other questions? All right, I do have one member of the public, Coco Cocazella.
Good day, Coco Cocazella, member of Sacramento Transit Advocates and Riders. Before I ask my question, I'd like to say thank you to Tabitha and Jason for being continually nimble and addressing queries and concerns. That's incredibly helpful. And yourself, Chair Kennedy, for bringing that new item to the agenda. Much appreciated. I think I may have missed a little bit of the blur. My question relates to somewhat of transparency about things that are brought to the attention of the staff or board that aren't addressed necessarily nimbly. One thing that comes to mind, I think it was mentioned in your presentation, was the exit for the disabled. I think Helen has talked about that quite a lot. In my understanding of the history, it may not have been dealt with quick enough, but we can set that aside for a moment. What would be great is a little more transparency on how the decisions are made, and what are the next steps. I think it gets confusing for the public when something is brought up that is addressed over and over, and we don't know why a decision was made to push it off or whatever. So the transparency helps. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Coco. Appreciate it. Any other member of the public on this item? This is an information item. We will go to the next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Next item, number 6, public addresses the board on matters not on the agenda.
Okay, we do have quite a few cards. I'm going to call the first 3 at a time. And if you could line up and be ready so that we can keep things moving, that would be much appreciated. So the first is Julia. The second is Helen O'Connell, and the third is Jeffrey Tardigia.
Afternoon, I'm
Afternoon.
Jeffrey Coleman. I've been riding RT, light rail, and paratransit for close to 30 years. So I know the difference. One of the problems that I've had has been with my cell phone. I don't like technology, but there was a land ring just as soon as the RT outgoing message comes on, and then the sound of the radio coming on. We've been working on this, and I've been complaining about this for almost going to close to 2 years. But Jamie just heard the ring after it starts, and I just want the rings to stop. It's only on my phone. AT&T has checked my phone, and it's not on my phone. But I would like to have that ring taken off, and the sound of the mic or the radio, two-way radio coming on, the one that they use on the dispatch. And that has been a problem. But now that it has been verified, I've got a picture of the 2 numbers. One is the same number. There are 2 of the same numbers. One is on hold, and the other one I'm talking on. And I think hopefully we can get that taken care of. Excel is a basic mechanical tool. And I was wondering why it cannot be used when a passenger has no change, may have a $10 or a $20. Why can you not use the program
and allowed for that to become credit. Is all of us,
One more thing we need to fix.
there's a lot that you need to fix,
Okay.
too much.
Thank you.
That was it, right? My 3
No, you still have 5 seconds. Okay. All right, Jeffrey, followed by Helen O'Connell. Is Jeffrey here?
Can you see me or do we need to move forward?
I can hear you.
My concern is how many fare boxes are not working, how many Connect cards are not working, and how else things are happening. I will use the example last Thursday. I rode from Sac Valley Station. No Connect card worked. 29th Street, no Connect card worked. Previously, when I had Roger as the individual that worked with this, we had up to 40 of these devices and the other things being inactive. I don't know how many, but it seems like it's been at least 4 months that both the 29th Street location has not been operational. It looks good. And at least 2 months ago, I had one of your patrol officers turn in another email report showing that it looks, but it does not work. Sac Valley, and I know there's a number of other stations where simply the Connect card machines don't work. And also the fare vending boxes, you cannot set up and charge. I wonder if the board knows how many of them are not functioning right now. It's not necessarily a maintenance issue, but it seems like it's something that until you get rid of the Connect card, you need to have more so that you can do more than 20 of them and you have the components to replace what's not working. That's my public comment on what's not functioning right now.
Thank you very much. And for the edification of the public that's speaking tonight, when that obnoxious sound goes off, that means you have 20 more seconds. So it doesn't mean your time is up. Helen O'Connell, followed by Dan Ellison, and then Crystal McGee-Lee.
Good evening, Board Chair and all the members of the board. I'm glad to see that we have upgraded our facilities. I have a concern, and it has to do with the equality of the employees. I am informed that there are issues between services, how much they make, how much benefits packages are, and all that kind of stuff. I was told not to compare SAC RT Go to Big Bus because they have different qualifications, but Smart Ride and RT Go both drive the same vehicle, yet they have different pay scales. They also have different benefits packages. And RT Go is a mandated program. It must function. I would suggest that they have a comparable pay scale. So, and a pay scale that is competitive so that we won't lose the people that are coming into RT Go. You know, they go through training and everything, and then they decide to go into a different area of RT because RT Go, to my best of my knowledge, has the least amount of pay. So I just thought I would bring that up to the board. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you for being here. Dan Ellison.
Good afternoon, board members. I'm here representing Sacramento Transit Advocates and Riders, but also 4 other organizations that are partners in what I'm going to talk about. Ridership for the Masses, Barbara is here. SAC True, Civic Thread, Saba, and Jeffrey is an individual. It's about Week Without Driving. The week without driving is September 30th to October 6th. And it's a week dedicated to having people get the experience of what is it like if I can't drive. 30% of people in this country, at least 30%, can't drive, can't afford to drive, or choose not to drive. The program origin was with Disability Rights Washington, and it's now expanded to be a national program with sponsorship of America Walks. Last year here in Sacramento, we had a program, and board member Katie Maple was our one participant. And that was wonderful, but we wanted more participation. So we are inviting you, board members and staff, to participate in Week Without Driving this year. The point is not to replace every single trip that you're doing during that week. It's to have the experience of what's it like if I'm not driving? How long does it take me? What kind of planning do I need to do? And when you do that, you can post on social media. It could be simple like, I walked to the grocery store today, or it could be a story about what your experience was like. And we will amplify your social media posts. If you don't do social media, that's okay. You can just email us and we will amplify it for you. You have a flyer on it. Staff does not have that flyer yet. It was a last minute thing. I apologize to staff for that. So we invite you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. We appreciate it. Crystal McGee Lee? It's just the worst.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good to see you, Chair.
Good to see you.
My name is Crystal McGee Lee. If I could take a moment and not have the timer stop. I don't know if you're aware, earlier this August, we had a member, ATU Light Rail member, Mr. Brian Porter, pass away. Thank you. But we bring joy. ATU brings joy. We have the first #1 operator, Miss Joyce Adams Watkins. She will be retiring in September 1st. And so I thought this was more than appropriate to give her a hand. She's been working for RT over 40 years in transportation. So I wanted to extend that publicly to her as her president business agent. I'm here today, though. The reason I'm here to introduce myself to some new and some old is that we are still essential workers. And even though the pandemic is over, we still have some issues that I'm not sure that you're aware of. So I had Mr. Adams passing out some of the things, so paperwork that you, so you can kind of follow along with me. You'll be hearing reports from my ATU Safety Committee. They will be giving you an assessment on what ATU has looked at and has not looked at. I'll be reporting on some of the bathroom issues that we've had, the assessment on assaults. We took a 2-week snapshot before coming here today. I wanted you to address some of these issues. 84% of the assaults we're talking about in 2 weeks have been verbally assaulted. 16% have been reported daily. My comrade over here, he's going to talk about that. The assault reporting, 17% of respondents have reported that they've been when they've been told about assaults, reprimanded, treated poorly. This is immoral. This is the morality of the company. We have won awards, but there are still issues, and we've been coming to management and talking about these issues. Now, no pun intended, I'm not here to derail the train that we know that we want, these low floors. But you will hear there are real issues going on with the low floors, these trains that we want to put out. We were not at the table when we started, some of these things were started in regards to these low floors. You will get this, you will hear this. As I know, ATU and the company, transportation under the FTA, we're supposed to be together when we do this. We're not. So I'm here not to bash RT, but to educate. Because before we put it out on the line, we're the ones who have to operate it. You're also, the letter that you have is for my bus safety manager, basically safety director. He couldn't be here. Bathroom excesses today, just today alone, we had a member who couldn't get to the restroom at Arden Del Paso because it was broken. And so that member defecated on themselves. You will see in this 2-week snapshot about how that is happening, the things in regards to the bathroom. I'm a 21-year vet. I love RT. RT has put my child through college, gone to college. I'm not here to bash RT. But I also am here as that young lady, Miss Coco. I'm gonna give you a pen because you said transparency. My staff will tell you it's principle before personality. This is not the personality in front of you. You will hear the principle behind why I stand before you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. David Halford, followed by Brian Griggs, followed by Michael Bevins. That's fine. Please state your name.
Good afternoon, Brian Griggs.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for seeing me here today to express some concerns and address some issues on the paratransit side. I'm a paratransit operator as well as shop steward for SacRT Go, as well as the co-chair on the safety board for the FTA. So I'm here to express concerns regarding the conditions of paratransit bus units I have used and that my fellow drivers have used as well. In particular, the buses starting with numbers 3, 4, and 3, 5. While I understand that the majority of our units are properly serviced and cleaned, many are in less ideal conditions. This could be attributed to the service and maintenance department losing or not being fully staffed or being overwhelmed with not having the needed personnel and training to service the paratransit units. Our mechanical staff are losing needed hours to service buses, which may have reached the end of life. The temperatures inside vehicles are exceedingly hot, sometimes reaching a temperature variance of 20+ degrees from outside temperatures, which would potentially could be hazardous to passengers as well as drivers who potentially can have health conditions. Additionally, the lack of staffing could compromise our service team getting the buses ready for the next day, potentially compromising safety issues and items to be checked or given the needed attention. Furthermore, the noise levels on the bus are excessive, often exceeding 84 decibels, which can potentially damage hearing over a long duration of time. This is a serious concern as prolonged exposure to such loud noise can have a lasting, long negative effects for health. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. David Halford, followed by Michael Bevins.
Good evening. My name is David Halford. I've been with SacRT since December 1st of 2020. I'm a proud ATU 256 member, and I'm currently the union representative for Light Rail. Back on June 14th of 2024, the Bipartisan Safety Committee, which I'm a member of, was providing the following information that was titled Problem Data, dated from May 2023 to May 2024. From the Safety Department, the incidents listed on this problem data sheet included verbal threats, spitting, objects thrown, physical contact, delay in service, brandishing weapons, damaging equipment, and physical threats. This sheet includes reports from SacRT bus operations, SacRT Light Rail operations, SacRT Go, SacRT Community Bus Services, Elk Grove Bus Services, SacRT Transit Ambassadors, 6 different agencies. When we took these numbers and lumped them together as problems, we got a total of 91 incidents in a 1-year span. We took these numbers and averaged them out, which we came up with one problem every 4 days. ATU had some concerns over these numbers, so during the last 2 weeks, we conducted a poll of our members. The following percentages were pulled, showing us 84% of the respondents have been verbally assaulted. 16% reported it's a daily occurrence. 27 reported it happens weekly. 36 of the respondents reported having experienced physical assaults. 38% have been spat on, had liquids, bodily fluid thrown at them. 31% have experienced sexual harassment. 9% have been assaulted with weapons. 17 have experienced stalking. 60% of our operators believe that assaults have increased in the last 5 years. The correction for this problem: training and education. The operator should be trained on what an assault and battery are, the differences, and why it is important for long-term safety that these incidents be documented. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. Michael Bevins followed. Can we just dismantle that thing tonight? Yeah, just turn it. I can handle the meeting without it. Making the big decisions. Michael Bevins, Eve Wynn, and Heller Chappelle.
Hello, everybody. This is Michael Bevins. I like the new digs, but I've seen better. No, just kidding. Compared to your old places, really nice. Very, very nice. I'm just gonna rehash some of my daydreams I've had as a transit nerd, I guess. Some of these are old hits I've mentioned before, but for you to consider, maybe you'll find them annoying, maybe you'll, but I appreciate the 2 minutes for me to vent. Hopefully you'll find this at least entertaining. Our first one, we need to establish corridors of travel. It could start off with a slow bus and then a major bus and ends up being a light rail, but north-south, connect the far region of the north to the south. Watt Avenue would be my example. East-west, Greenback, Elkhorn Boulevard, Folsom to the airport. Have that a transit corridor where you connect to it and you can transfer to get to our region outside of downtown. Ride free for the students, which is great. I've heard of the last go around, the funding got done, which is great. Now I just think we need to make sure the kids can use the bus to go to school, which is the point. We need to have every single school have access to a bus stop from SAC-RT. I mean, not right in front of the school, but the next block over, the next major arterial or something. So the students can actually utilize the free ride they get. A bike, cargo train, or bus. We got our new light rails and they're great. But I know that at some point there's not much room for bikes and wheelchairs. And at some point you're going to be on a bike and it's going to be full. What are you going to do? You're going to squeeze it in, or you're going to wait for the next one? I suggest the old trains that we have, keep a few of them, scrap the rest for parts. So we'll have some parts and make a train, a bus train, a cargo train that goes from Folsom to downtown 5 minutes before or after the regular run. So if you're on a bike, you can, if you don't make the first one because it's crowded, fine, you know you got the bike bus coming right 5 minutes later. And we should pay for that. You should pay. You're taking up 2 spaces, basically. You should double the price. $7 for a day pass. If you use the bike bus or cargo bus, $14 or whatever. You're paying for the extra service. And that'll help pay for the bike bus. If you have a grocery cart, you're going grocery shopping, or a bike or a stroller full of kids or luggage, you have a place to put it. And we can utilize the trunk feature of our cars that we're trying to get rid of. Next. Same with the express trains. If I know it takes like an hour and 45 minutes from Folsom to the Sac Valley Station, if you really want to utilize that, you could go on a car and get there in 30 minutes or less. If you're going to trains and take you 2 hours, maybe we can introduce with our new service to Folsom an express train, one that goes from Folsom, maybe not all the way to the whole line goes down to Sunrise, and then maybe goes back.
Can you wrap up, Michael?
Oh, wait, oh.
Well,
You're the buzzer?
I could buzz at you if you
Okay,
like.
no, I see it, 21 seconds. Yeah, all right, I'll just run down. The next one, the green line, the airport. We got a path for the airport, the green line. We should fill that path away with something so we can show where it is, like make it a nice bike path. Make it up transit. The bus would go where the train's going to go, and then it'll demonstrate where the future train will be.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you much.
Eve Wynn, followed by Heller Chappelle.
Hi, I'm Eve Wynn. I'm the union rep for the Elk Grove division. I've been at the Elk Grove division for 18 years, been with RT for 5. And the issues our drivers are having are the children that ride our buses are cursing at the drivers, threatening them, and smoking marijuana on our buses. This is an ongoing issue. Our drivers are frustrated and they're driving unsafe because they're so upset. And the solution to this would be for someone from regional transit, maybe contact the schools and maybe suspend the kids from riding if possible, because this is a safety issue. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Heller Chappell. I am from the light rail division. I've been driving a light rail train for 5 years, and I'm also the ATU shop steward. I have some concerns about the safety of the S700s and them going out so soon. So our station platforms, the operators do not know where to stop yet. We've only driven a single LRV in training, and that was brief. 1 out of 25 stations has one marker where we know where to put our train, and we haven't even been trained. Is it going to be the front of the train, the window? So we do not know where we're going to let the public off. So it's very important that we don't stop short or long because of the tall platform. So we're concerned about that. The light rail vehicle itself, inside of our trains are tripping hazards, and they have not been properly or visually marked, which our VP of Operations, Carmen Alba, has been made aware of. We have 6 days until launch. The handrails. I am a statuesque 5'2". That's where the handrail, I cannot take care of myself if the train goes quickly. So at 7:15 this morning, I had more than 18 passengers standing. At our meeting with the VP of Operations, Carmen Alba, she suggested that we have safety traps to hold on to. We agree that this should be done and before the trains are put out into service. Operators exiting the LRVs, operators have to use route selectors and switches, which involves exiting the train. The step down out of the train can be as high as 30 inches. This is unacceptable. Cal OSHA regulations stipulate no more than 18 inches without assistance. We are required to have 3 points of contact. A step down to use the route selectors at Metro Yard has been addressed with a temporary solution, a rubber platform, which the trespassers are already trying to remove. So we may have other route selectors and switches in the system that we may not be able to safely access. It's causing a lot of anxiety. The ATU membership is here to educate you and the public on the safety issues of the S700s.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
The operators are feeling anxiety due to the lack of proper training. Operators and myself perceive that management is putting these new trains out prematurely for the safety of all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vanessa Nichols, followed by Joyce Adams Watkins.
Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Nichols. I'm a CBS operator and the shop steward for that group. I'm here to talk about some of the issues that we face on a daily basis as CBS operators. But first, a word of thanks. The people out on 3301 are very grateful for the new shuttle that they have out there. It's comfortable, air conditioned, and they are very grateful for that. So now to some more serious issues. Some of the safety issues that we face are on a daily basis are things like the interlock door pops open during service. That's a problem. As a matter of fact, it happened to me on August 14th, and it popped open during service and once again on the freeway. It also happened to another driver who was unaware. I tied the door shut. When I received my alternate coach, the other operator can take it back to the yard. No one looked at it. And then the operator got that bus the next morning. As operators, we shouldn't have to deal with these new nuisance issues such as health and safety, but we do every day. Issues like dripping water, running water on us when it's raining outside, working ACs. We have passengers who are suffering because of the heat, exhaust smells coming into the vehicle, emergency window latches that are broken and it's causing constant rattling on the bus, as well as the lift panels. on there. So as a result, we did do a survey. And what we discovered is that the 1,600 buses have decibel levels from 72 to 89. And then for the newer buses in Folsom, it's about 70 to 80, with the beginning of hearing loss starting at about 70 decibels. Let's talk about assaults briefly. I myself was assaulted. I did file the report and I've heard nothing about it. The ball was dropped. Other operators, they have been assaulted. The ball was dropped.
And
So what we're doing, we're asking.
Can you wrap
here-
up, Vanessa?
I will.
Thank you.
We're asking the board to help us to provide a more safe working environment for us operators during the time that we are working here. And that's what we're asking. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Joyce Adams Watkins.
I'm here in support of my union, the morale of all the drivers. We have several properties, and everything that's been brought to you is an important issue. And me being here for over 44 years, I have experienced quite a bit. I have been assaulted. I've been spit on. And I do recall a time when I needed to rush to get to the restroom and I had to go home. But anyway, we need your support, the morale of all of us working together to resolve every issue, don't you think? Especially restroom, I think it's very important. And assaults. I remember the time I got assaulted. This was in 1980, and a passenger put hands on me. And I was ready to do harm, but I didn't. I called it in and they came out and they had to talk with the passenger and stuff. Things are different now, much different. Assault, being spit on, being talked bad to. Oh yeah, I've been cussed out several times. There are a lot of issues because people don't want to pay their fare. Over 25 cents, 50 cents. And we do make that reasonable effort, but sometimes people come there with an attitude and they just want to get on you about their problem. But safety is very important. We shouldn't have to worry about all these different issues. Safety is the first factor. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Joyce. That's the last card I have for items not on the agenda. Is there any other member of the public that did not turn in a card that would like to address the board? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. My name is Ann Pruitt. I'm a current employee of Regional Transit Sacramento. This is my first board meeting and I do thank you for this opportunity. I'll try to make it quick. I'm coming to you as an employee with some safety concerns with my fellow coworkers. We have recently transferred from a mobile trailer into the 1400 29th Street location upstairs. I'm in the reservations department and I was a driver. I came over from Paratransit Inc. and I drove for 7 years between PI and RTGO. I've been a reservationist for 2 years. Since we have transferred over to this, to the new building, which we are so appreciative of, it's much better than the trailer. But
It must have been a really bad trailer.
it was. We had some four-legged friends running around. And that's the point that I'm going to make is that in this move here, we have been having to struggle with a couple of items that I would like to see addressed as soon as possible. Number one is we currently have some ergonomical issues that is causing some safety concerns with our chairs. RT did give us risers for our desks, so that did help with the ergonomics, but our chairs, some of them are broken. The backs are broken. We have been given older chairs that were there previously. Go find one that works for you kind of situation. I personally have a new chair because I had a workers' comp injury that did provide me with an ergonomical chair, but my coworkers do not. Also, we do struggle with apparently, and I respect that the building is an older building, okay, but
Can you wrap up, please?
I'm going to try. So our office area is under extreme cold temperatures all day long. We're got heated blankets. We've got everything trying to warm ourselves up. We were told nothing can be done with the temperature because it's an old building. It'll break the system.
You're over time. Could you?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for
All
your
right, thank you. And if you could get a card and fill it out and give it to our clerk so that we have you for the record.
Thank you.
Thank you. I believe there's one more in back. And the same as after you speak, if you could present a card to the clerk.
I will, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Artemius Moye. I'm a light rail operator. I've been with the company for 12 years. My operator number is 3481. There's several issues that I would like to discuss, but I know I don't have a lot of time. I just want to say that I don't know how long you guys have been here, but there was a police officer that was shot at Watton 80 Station. So now we have light duty people and maybe a few security guards, but no one really wants to be at Watton 80 Station if they don't have to, and have 5, 6 people on light duty, I don't know, helping customers get tickets. But there was a police officer that was shot there years ago. It's not safe at Watton 80. So I know you're breaking ground and you got your pictures and you're going to redo it. It's going to look all nice, but it also needs to be safe at the same time. We have several issues. The new trains that are coming out, they look great, but the aerodynamics of the chair, we're used to things where someone can come in and train us and teach us how to press all the buttons, but now there's not enough room for a trainer to get in there with you and show you everything. The person has to stand on the outside of the cab behind you to assist you. And if I'm training someone, because I'm a driver, I wouldn't feel safe training someone standing behind them, because if I now we have to go into emergency braking because there's someone in front of us. I can't reach the handle from behind the chair. So getting on and off the train in the yard is unsafe. It's like 3 feet up and you have to hop down or hold on to each handle and step off backwards. It's a lot of things that need to be addressed before putting the new cars out there, because it's unsafe. There's tripping hazards, there's slopes, there's no decals to let you know that there's a slope here or a slope here. So you're walking and all of a sudden you trip because you don't know that these things are down there. It's not even, and technically it's not low to the floor if we still need ramps.
Can you wrap up, please?
Sure. Also, I had someone attempt to follow me into 13th Street Station the other day because I only have access to one door. So the guy was asking me questions. I was trying to answer his questions, do my best to do good customer service. And I felt it was getting kind of weird. And I tried to hurry up and get in through the door and he was standing in the doorway. So we just need more security. We need security at the end of each line, security on the trains, not transit ambassadors that just provide customer service. We need actual security guards that can assist, because the police are going to take 30 minutes to get to you at any given time if they can come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. All right, that's all the cards that I have on public testimony. Supervisor Cerna.
Good, Chair. First of all, I appreciate our employees taking the time out of their schedules to join us tonight and share what you have. It's off agenda, so by way of the Brown Act, we can't act on it, and I'm sure you're well aware of that. But I am hopeful that our general manager has been taking copious mental notes and his staff. And I would suggest that even before we meet again, Mr. Lee, that perhaps, at least for the board members, a memo in response to some of these safety concerns is circulated. And then ultimately, public should have access to the same information. Some of it's very, very concerning to hear about 30 inches being your first rough step, getting on and off to the vehicles. And then there was not any mention of particular routes where the assaults may be more prevalent than elsewhere. I suspect there's probably some geographic connection to some extent in terms of that unfortunate circumstance that our employees are dealing with. But what I'd like to offer, again, looking to our general manager, is that at least for the County of Sacramento and our administration center, which by the way has two train light rail stations, one on the west and one on the east sides, and then we also have a bus stop on the north side. We're going through a process of working with the Downtown Sacramento Partnership to enhance safety, not just around the county admin center, but several blocks in and around that. It does include the center. And that's in large response to the fact that our employees, county employees, are unfortunately grappling with some of the same unfortunate circumstances with assaults and unruly behavior. So I would encourage us maybe to at least have a conversation, Mr. Lee, with Mr. Villanueva, our CEO, to see if there's some added benefit that we might explore together in terms of the resources we're deploying, working with DSP, that might actually help with some of what we're hearing about today in terms of our employees being the target of assaults and other unfortunate behavior. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Singh.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Cerna, for those very thoughtful comments. As an extension of some of what you stated, there was a speaker that referenced Elk Grove. I'm curious if it's the city of Elk Grove or is it Elk Grove Unified School District, which spans beyond the city of Elk Grove. So I'm very interested in knowing the routes as well, so that we can hone in on some of the troubleshooting for that. But I appreciate everyone coming out.
We can
Okay,
take
we'll-
this
we'll-
offline.
Yeah, we can do that
during the
offline.
meeting.
Thank you.
I appreciate your
yeah.
participatory spirit, though. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I have a 2x2 with the school district and I would like to bring it up, but I just want a little bit more information so that I know district-wide versus the city and then what specific schools, so we can help navigate through that. So thank you.
You, Director Maple.
Thank you, Chair. And I just want to thank you all for coming and for sharing your stories. I know it's not an easy thing to do to come to share some of the, especially some of the things that I saw in here that are difficult to talk about, right? And so I just really want to appreciate you for taking the time to make sure that we know how you're feeling. And I just would really be interested in an update, maybe at the next meeting from our general manager on how conversations are going with the union as it relates to these concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Maple. Any others? Okay.
Chair Kennedy, we have Lisa Hines on Zoom, our VP of Safety, and would you mind if she made a comment?
I'd rather not at this time, being that this isn't a noticed item, that, she'll have an opportunity, as board members have requested, to participate in the next meeting. Thank you. Was that okay, Olga? Appreciate that. Okay, then seeing none, I too want to thank everybody for being here. It's always great to have the public here, but to have our cherished employees here is it's a good thing, and you make us better. So thank you. All right, next item, please.
The next item is the general manager's report.
Good afternoon. First, I really want to thank the great feedback and the constructive criticisms from the public and ITU today. And I believe a couple months ago, we had a great conversation with ATO President Chris Lee talking about this. And after that, and the safety committee has had multiple conversations. I'm glad to hear from our union members directly in this board meeting. Definitely will respond and act accordingly and quickly. We hold the safety issues very seriously, as I shared with the ATU president. the whole industry faces this issue on a daily basis. And the industry has been aggressively looking for innovative ways to address this type of issues. And this is more not try to shift blame, whatever. And this is more a societal issue. But transit agencies across the nation are working very hard to address this issue. And definitely we will do better, and we will make sure, we're going to brief board and brief public what improvement actions we're going to take in later. Our safety and police team, we actually in the last multiple years, we added up to 80 security guards, more than 20 police officers, and also more than 70 ambassadors. And we used to have like 50 or 60 staff combined together. Now we have more than 200. So it's just something we have to continue to looking for innovative ways to address this issue. There's one specific concern I just want to address here. Normally our police team respond and act quickly to work with our law enforcement partners throughout the region to catch the bad actors. However, I realize based on what a couple operators' feedback, we may not have shared with our operators timely or properly with what steps and actions the police department has already done. I think we need to share that with you guys quickly and in a proper way. Hey, we have done this, and we have not done this good enough. So we're going to better communicate with you guys and make improvement quickly in the future. For the transparency purpose, I want to point out that in the GM report 8.1.c, there's a new item we added from now on, called SACRT staff's customer service responses to feedback and comments from previous board meetings. Because every board meeting we wrote the order feedbacks. Then we immediately because the second day is our EMT meeting, we immediately assigned the tasks to address these issues before the next board meeting as quickly as possible. So we try to keep this type of feedbacks, transparency, for the transparency purpose, try to share, what we have been doing and to the feedback and comments from the public on the previous board meetings. For example, last board meeting, Mr. Dan Allison raised the issue, and after board meeting, our CFO spent some time with Dan and to explain, address the concern in the question, which I believe is reflect in this report. So just Coco, please let us know if this report does not capture or we missed anything from previous board meetings comments, then we can further improve. Then I just wanted to say something as shared during the comments presentation. Let's do the presentation. We are extremely excited for the launch of our new low-floor vehicle service on Gold and Green Lines next week, next Friday or Saturday. This is truly a historical moment and one of the largest undertakings in our agency history. I hope everyone can help us celebrate this milestone as we host a press conference on Tuesday, September 3rd followed by a community celebration event at our township line light rail station. We're very honored to have 3 members of U.S. Congress, our state delegation. I think right now we have 4 or 5 state legislators, and the FTA and the CalSTA top officials attending and speaking at the press conference, which is unprecedented. And with this $500 million investment in this, our light rail modernization and expansion program. Then second, I'd like to share a couple of pictures and photos. As you know, Director Sarah and Director Kozlowski visit South Korea as part of our region's economic delegation to build partnership between Sacramento and the city of Seoul, the capital city of South Korea. As you can see, they have a world-class public transportation system with record ridership and a booming economy. Now they have over 3.4 billion rides annually, which is more than New York City transit. And that's just amazing how many rides they have. And yeah, okay. So, next slide. Okay, so so actually this slide really just show how clean the train is. Look at the floor. It's just
You could eat off it.
you can sleep on there, I mean, and also, the system, the public transportation system with best of the best accessibility and connectivity.
I think their train headways are like 2 minutes.
Yes,
Not
2 minutes.
They never have to wait.
And then they invest, billions of billions money into the system. And I just would like to read the note Director Sarah sent to me while in South Korea. And he sent to me at 4 a.m. And then my text, beep, wake me up, I read it. So what he said, we haven't not used a taxi or been in a car in nearly a week. The subway system here is incredible, and it took us maybe a day and a half to master it to the point we feel we could get to almost any places in Seoul just using the train and walking. And we have not even used the BRT here yet. And I visited that place, the BRT. Last year I visited Seoul. The BRT is incredible. And apparently this is the EV of our future system. Hopefully we can get some additional money, invest in our transit system. As we repeatedly said, shared with our public that we already received 20% of 1 penny sales tax. And while our peer agencies in California receive whole 1 penny and 1.5 penny sales tax revenue for public transit. So we're 5 times or 8 times less than other regions. We need to catch up. Okay, that being said, okay, we can move on. I think Director Silla smiled enough. Okay, so to conclude my short remarks, I had previously shared that in July, SACAT had the pleasure of hosting Mr. Paul Comfort, the host of the podcast and Transit Unplugged TV program. The TV and his podcast is the #1 program in the industry globally. The visit aimed to highlight Sacramento and SACAT's innovative services and its connectivity to regional art, music, and food scenes. During the 2-day podcast and video shoot, the TV crew captured energy and commitment that drive our daily operations, showcasing why Sacramento is a leader in public transportation across the nation. In the meantime, I had the pleasure to record a 25-minute podcast with him too. We have received great feedback on the podcast and the video, which now has over 110,000 views on YouTube for TV alone. Since the video is about 23 minutes long, so we cut it more than half to show in our board meeting. Let's go ahead and play the shorter version of the video.
I'm Paul Comfort in front of the Capitol in Sacramento, California. This state's the 5th largest economy in the world. This is where the Transcontinental Railroad got its start, right in Sacramento. And today it's a fantastic capital city with an amazing public transportation system. We're going to take you behind the scenes of SacRT with its CEO, Henry Lee. Plus, we'll show you some fun you won't want to miss. All on this episode of Transit Unplugged TV. So Henry, we're here where it all started. Mile marker 0 on the Transcontinental Railroad.
Welcome to Sacramento. Yes, over 150 years ago, this railroad was built, and this changed the whole region and the whole nation. And this put the city of Sacramento on the map of the nation.
And it all is right here in Old Town, Sacramento, which reminds me like of an old Western town. This is where the gold rush and all that happened. Much has changed since then, Henry. Tell us about what Sacramento is like today.
This is the capital city and we're the 5th largest economy in the world. And the city is a thriving city. It's a highly diverse, dynamic city.
Sounds exciting, Henry. Let's go and explore.
Sure, definitely.
Yes.
Chris.
Henry, we're here in the capital city. I'd love to go visit your capital, but I got one question. How do I get there?
The best way is go to Capitol is just ride our light rail blue line, one stop to the Capitol.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
So we're on your light rail vehicle, but you're getting new vehicles, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
We're undertaking the largest capital project for light rail modernization and expansion program right now with about $1 billion. There's 3 components. First, to purchase up to 72 the state-of-the-art new light rail vehicles, to replace about 97 old vehicles.
Okay.
Second, to renovate or modernize about 50 light rail stations. And the third, a whole bunch of new stations and new development.
We toured the Capitol building with its fantastic dome, saw the historic offices, Rick, as vice chair of the SacRT board, you represent the city of Sacramento. Tell us about the importance of public transportation to the city.
Well, it's extremely important for our constituents who take it back and forth to work or to shopping, or wherever they may take it to. It's extremely important to them that it be reliable and something they can count on, and they know that they can. It's an incredible opportunity for us to present public transportation to our constituents here. But also, we have a program that we want to get to our young people early so that they understand the importance of public transportation. We have a program called the Ride Free program. And kids get to ride free on public transportation to and from school, also to their after-school jobs, as well as their extracurricular activities. They get to ride public transportation free. So at this point in time, they understand public transportation better than their parents.
All right, so you were an NFL star, played in the Super Bowl with the Oakland Raiders. Tell us about the ring.
Well, the first thing you said was I was a star. And I think I was a player, but I don't know if I ever got to stardom status.
Okay.
But it was good to be a player because that was the goal I had as a young kid, was to be an NFL player. Unfortunately, it was for the wrong team. I wanted to play for the Washington Redskins.
Oh, my team.
Oakland Raiders decided to draft me. So I had to go 3,000 miles to California in order to make the team. The good thing was, in my first year in the NFL, I led the team in kickoff returns, which put us in great position to score touchdowns. And we won 16 games that year, lost one, and won the Super Bowl number 11. So I wear this ring proudly because it has 27 diamonds, 10 in honor of the 10 Super Bowls that came before Super Bowl number 11, 16 for the 16 victories that we had in 1976, and the big carrot in the middle is for the first Super Bowl we ever won.
After lunch, we jumped into Rick's historic Mercury Cougar XR7 for a spin. So tell us where we're at.
Hey, we're over at the Real-Time Information Center. This is a collaboration between Regional Transit and SAC PD. We've been over here since 2017. It's an agreement between the City of Sacramento and Regional Transit trying to combine our resources as two agencies. This is kind of the central nervous system for Regional Transit Police Services over here. We're the dispatch center. So every light rail station has a voice of God installed at the light rail station. We've installed it since 2018. It went live. Since that date, we have done approximately 30,000 PA Voice of God announcements. This is for nuisance types of calls, anybody that's loitering, anybody that's causing disturbance, smoking, anything that we don't want to happen on regional transit property. This is Regional Transit Police Services monitoring the 13th Street Light Rail Station. We are currently doing a test of the PA system for the patron that's currently on the CRC Sunrise or Folsom Town side. If you hear this announcement, if you can give us a thumbs up in the air, we would appreciate it. Thank you. You have a great day.
Next, we headed over to their bus maintenance garage.
A bit of history, Paul. Before light rail was started in regional transit, we actually maintained the historic trolley that you see at light rail and you will see later on, and they kept it here at bus maintenance. And these two pieces of metal are the last bits of rail left in the original trolley system.
Wow. Paul, great to meet you. We're here at the site of a great public-private partnership you've got going with Henry Lee's group, SAC-RT. Tell me about the role of the power utility company interacting with the transit agency as we work toward our emission goals.
SMUD has been a great partner with regional transit. As you know, the world's going to a clean energy future. So SMUD has a great vision of trying to completely decarbonize our power supply by 2030, but at the same time, advance both building and transportation electrification. So certainly, regional transit, so SMUD plays a huge role. We're working with the regional transit and obviously with the general manager of the Sacramento to really, how do we advance the cleaning of the buses? So it goes from, powering, obviously electrifying all the buses, but also working with them to try to bring clean hydrogen in to power the hydrogen fuel buses that's going to happen. So we envision SMUD and RT plays those two critical roles to really transition the clean energy future for transportation.
Go ahead, Henry, where are we at?
We're at our Glen Light Rail Station. This is part of our modernization and expansion of our entire light rail system with a $1 billion investment.
Tell us more about your light rail modernization program.
So we are replacing 97 old light rail cars, building 5 new stations, and replacing miles of tracks.
So tell us about your role here.
I'm the resident engineer for Sacramento Regional Transit, and I'm overseeing this project.
Great. Tell us about the project.
Well, the project is raising the existing platforms to accommodate for the S700 new vehicles, and as well double tracking the station to have a service that goes from 13 minutes to 15 minutes.
You've got some amazing adult beverages out here in
do.
Sacramento. Tell me about that.
Well, everybody knows about Napa Valley, but people don't know that Sacramento actually, within 60 miles of Sacramento, you have more wineries than anywhere else in the country.
That's amazing. So what makes this area so special for wine?
A lot of it's the soil, but also the climate. You'll see Sacramento, as you have noticed, can get hot, but that's very good for certain wines like Cabernets, Zinfandels, Barberas. Then when you get closer to the coast, you'll start to see more whites. And so it's really zone by zone what wines you'll find.
That sounds great, Patrick. Let's try some.
I look forward to it.
Patrick, in your role as chairman of the board for SAC-RT, you have another role too, right? Tell us about the roles you play and the role of the community support for public transportation in Sacramento.
Not only am I the chair of the Sacramento Regional Transit Board, but I'm also chair of the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors. So that gives me an opportunity to really be in touch with the community in multiple ways.
So tell us about the community support for public transit.
We're really fortunate in Sacramento to have tremendous support from the community, and that's really shown by the numbers that have gone up since COVID. The national average is somewhere in the 70s as far as the amount of riders that were pre-COVID and after COVID. We're up in the 90s, so our community really embraces regional transit.
So Michael, we're in your shop where you're receiving these brand new light rail vehicles. Tell me about the process of getting a new light rail vehicle.
When Siemens manufactures them, they deliver them out to a local street. We tow them into the yard, and once they get into the yard, we do a receiving inspection. We basically go over the whole top of the car, the bottom of the car. We look for things that might have happened during delivery.
And how long does that whole process take?
Approximately 3 to 4 months.
Very good. Tell me about the new light rail program here at Sacramento.
Sacramento Regional Transit is getting up to 76 brand new vehicles, the new S700s made by Siemens. They will be replacing a fleet of 76 in the future.
How much do they cost, and what does this mean to the citizens of Sacramento?
Each vehicle is estimated around $5.1 million each. It will be a great benefit to the community. New trains, new low-floor trains for the community. This will be just a real a gem for the community.
Rita, we're here at Old Folsom Prison where you work, and tell me about your ride. You ride SAC-RT's paratransit system every day to work, right?
Yes, I have been doing it down here for almost 10 years now.
That's great. And how is your ride today different than what it used to be?
Oh, a big difference.
Okay.
Before I used to ride Elk Grove, and they used to bring me all the way straight here. Then they stopped. And I would have to take either a bus to a pickup point for SAC-RT, and then get picked up there, taken to the light rail, then get a shuttle from there to here. And
Big, long process.
Over 2 hours.
Oh my goodness. And what's it like now riding paratransit?
Now they pick me up at home, and I come straight here.
How long does that take about?
Coming to work is about 45 minutes because it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Sacramento is a major league city, where tonight behind me at the Golden One Center, their professional basketball team will play a big game.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions from the board? I have no cards from the public to speak, so we'll go to the next item.
No, the only thing I would say is I'm really glad that that RT was represented on the trip to Korea. Both our mayor and our vice mayor went on the trip, and we're waiting for reports from them. But it was really an amazing experience. We are being asked to consider a sister city outside of Seoul, and of course we have Synergex in town, so there's lots of connections there.
Great, thank you, Director. Any others? All right, next item, please.
Next item is 9.1 Mobility Advisory Council Meeting Summary of July 18th, 2024.
Any questions? Next item.
Okay, next item 9.2 San Joaquin Joint Powers Authority Special Meeting and the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission San Joaquin Joint Powers Authority Joint Special Meeting Summaries of July 18th, 2024.
Any questions? Hearing none, next item, please.
9.3, the Sacramento Placerville Transportation Corridor Joint Powers Authority Meeting Summary of August 5th, 2024.
And Director Budge, do you have anything to add?
I don't think so. I think that was one Pat missed. Yeah.
Okay, we do have one card on this item from Jeffrey Tartagia.
My comment, Linda, is simply thank you. And please, the biomass I thought was interesting, and Rancho Cordova was interesting. I hope that Pat didn't have anything left out of what went on for as far as going on the Capitol Corridor. This is what I would appreciate seeing, the addition of what's going on that might affect the community. And biomass is something that's being discussed actively. That's a whole area that, as you say, it's been 100 years. So there's an impact there that hopefully it doesn't occur, but El Dorado County does need to deal with the fact that there's a lot of dead forest. And that's my comment about public comments.
Let's just clarify that biomass is an issue being discussed in El Dorado County. And Jeffrey is correct. They do have a lot of opportunity. They also have an old, what I think is a lumber plant somewhere down the line between the county line and Latrobe that they are thinking about using. And it is a huge effort. And Jeffrey's correct. It's been well over 100 years since there was heavy rail on this track, and now it's because of all the variety of uses that I have reported on and Pat has reported on that are actually taking place on the line. The addition of heavy rail track or heavy rail train would really have a significant impact on the line.
Thank you. No other questions, comments? Okay, that takes us, we will be recessing into closed session and I will have the clerk read each item. I do have a public comment on item number 13.1. So once you've read that into the record, we'll take public comment.
Okay, item 13.1, conference with real estate negotiator pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8. Properties 1400, 1414, 1514, and 1516 29th Street, 2812, 2814, and 2824 N Street, 2811, 2815, 2817 O Street, and 2831 P Street. The APNs, there are 6 APNs with the first numbers of 0070273. The last 3 numbers for those 6 are 003, 004, 008, 014, 015, and 022. There are 3 APNs with the first numbers of 007, 0274, and the last 3 numbers for those are 012, 013, and 020. The agency negotiator, Christopher Flores, Chief of Staff, VP of Real Estate, and Ryan DeAngelis, CBRE, Inc. And the negotiating parties, Code Solution, Inc., Retirement Housing Foundation, City of Sacramento, and under negotiation is price and terms.
Thank you very much. Jeffrey Tartagia.
Well, you have me back again. And the question and concern is that, once again, appreciate the fact that in the agenda, there was no listing of public comment, but as being here, finding out that you could make a public comment in regards to this subject. I guess I shouldn't say anything about who's interested in your lovely RT property, but it is something that I hope some information will come further about if it's dealing with, should we say, transportation and affordable housing and some other issues related through there. So I'm hoping a report will come out explaining these things. In the past, when we've had closed sessions, it's not very clear about what is the outcome of that the same thing will be about the other, but appreciated the fact that, for this, they did allow some public comment, and I took advantage of it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. We would expect nothing different. It is interesting that on most of the boards and commissions we sit on, first of all, their public comment is always welcome and accepted for closed session items. Most people don't know that and don't take advantage of it. On the second item, as far as you understand, this is, and one of the exceptions to the Brown Act, why we can get in closed sessions, because we're going to be negotiating real estate, and it would put the district at a very strong disadvantage if we were to negotiate in public. So thank you very much. That's all the comments I have there. Next item.
13.2, conference with labor negotiator pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. District negotiator, we have Shelley Valentin and David Topaz, and employee organizations, AFSCME, OE3, ATU, IBEW, and MSEG.
Okay, I have no comments on this. Hearing and seeing none, then we will recess into closed session. When we are finished, I do not expect to report out, so I will adjourn and board members can feel free to leave. Thank you. We're in recess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Will I stay on the Zoom?
Back here?
Will I stay on if I unplug?
Oh, wait, board member conference room. That would seem to be the appropriate place.
Is the right